A lot of build-up has been recently seen in the top places for World of Warcraft theory crafting, when the player who leaked Warlords of Draenor struck again, suggesting Blizzard's idea for the 6th World of Warcraft expansion was the hugely desired concept of the South Seas. Named the Dark Prophet, something I consider unlikely and most likely a placeholder, the concept seems very solid compared to the huge flow of leaks that keep appearing from time to time. In this video, I will present the ideas behind the leak and portray my opinion on them, hopefully filling the gap in between the text. Zul and Azshara are the main villains. After the last defeat, Zul has asked Rastakhan for more support, but the king had lost his confidence in him and refuses it. This may be connected to the patch 4.1 events of the Rise of the Zandalari, when Zul left Zandalar on the mightiest troll ship. After Rastakhan and his council had refused to believe Zul's visions of demise in form of a cataclysm that would devastate the island. In a big coup, Zul has Rastakhan assassinated and assumes control of the Zandalari, allying the tribe with the Naga, whose goal is to flood the continents and raise the ocean level. Azshara is one of the most powerful mages ever to walk Azeroth, a very well-known antagonist in Warcraft's lore, and is the perfect idea for an expansion villain, now that demonic empowerment has amplified her skills. The big focus of the expansion will be on Night Elves and Trolls, with Malfurion and Vol'jin being the main heroes. This is Vol'jin's big opportunity to prove himself as the warchief of the Horde. A big emphasis will be on his loyalty to the Horde, despite the opportunity to be part of a newly risen troll empire, something that had already happened in Cataclysm. His story will be about resisting the temptation to join the Zandalari and stay with his family. As a well-known shadow hunter, he is probably also linked to the teaching of players who undergo the choice of the new class, Shadow Stalker. Shadow Stalker is also the name of the elite spies of the Forsaken, but this can be changed for a more suitable name that is lore-friendly. Trolls, Blood Elves, Orcs, Goblins, Forsaken, humans, dwarves, worgen, night elves and gnomes can turn into one of these ranged heroes that use bows, crossbows and guns, and will have a heavy focus on magic attacks. From what is said, the class seems to replicate the trollish Shadow Hunter from Warcraft's lore, present mainly in Warcraft 3, of which Vol'jin is the most accomplished in the current World of Warcraft lore. The specs will be Dark Ranger, Spirit Mending and Shadow Hunter. Dark Ranger and Shadow Hunter are damage dealers and Spirit Mending is a healing spec, which also seem unlikely due to the fact Dark Ranger is already the name used by the elite scouts of the Forsaken. Shaped by the Banshee Queen Sylvanas Windrunner into an undead kind of improved necromantic Elven Rangers. At the same time, Spirit Mend is already a Spirit Beast Hunter pet skill, though that name seems more likely if the skill is altered. New Shadow Stalkers will start at level 1, but players who buy the expansion will be granted a level 100 character. New level cap will be 110, and those 10 levels are divided into 8 zones: the Velaryon Depths, Zandalar, Kultiras, Kezan, Telebim, Plunder Isle, the Rift and Broken Isles. The two starting zones will be the Velaryon Depths and Zandalar. The Velaryon Depths are an underwater zone with Naga, similar to a smaller Vashj'ir. It serves as the intro to the storyline revolving around the Naga. The story in this zone deals with Ozumat and the kidnapped Neptulon. This is dubious due to the much elaborated theory that Vashj'ir was amongst the most hated zones in World of Warcraft, and statistically one of the less played by subscribers. Zandalar used to be the capital of the Zandalari, before it was destroyed in the Cataclysm. This zone is completely ruined. Players will get here and figure out what happened to the trolls, and what they are up to. At the same time, it is unknown if Zandalar yet exists. Blizzard has added items in-game, but their words are unclear. They speak of the island's reaches sinking into the sea, and of the world taking their home under the waves, yet not a clear confirmation of all the island being sunk. After the starting zone, players will board a ship that will lead them to either Kultiras for the Alliance, or Kazan for the Horde. These zones will serve as the capitals for the factions. Players will get their own ship here, which they will use to travel around the islands. Around the capitals there will also be some questing. This is also complicated to predict, as the Garrison Shipyard in 6.2 already features some of these ideas, and it is unclear whether Blizzard wants to repeat them. However, one can look at the shipyard as some sort of prediction for the future. I am torn in between, and even if I'd love to, I don't see it happening easily. Telebim is a tropical paradise. A group of peaceful trolls, the Sunspear tribe, live here. The zone is mostly light-hearted. Players will have to help the Sunspear tribe against a new pygmy-like race that is giving them trouble. Plunder Isle is a pirate island. Here people can recruit pirates for their crew. The Rift will be the first of the two endgame zones. Here lies the Nagas city of Nazyatar. The Broken Isles are a group of isles well known for housing the tomb of the Dark Titan Sargeras, which is rumored to be a dungeon, though it would be important enough to easily feature a raid. Theoretically, the players will have to assault it in order to prevent the Naga and troll invaders' conquest of powerful artifacts. The last feature is one that I'm completely excited about, but cannot see it happening. Theoretically, players will be able to travel with their ship from island to island, but also be able to explore the open seas and hidden islands, while recruiting a crew of pirates. Now, unless this is scripted like flight paths, it makes no sense. We've all seen the reluctance of adding flying into Warlords of Draenor due to design flaws. Having a full continent textured in the ground, in the sky and in the water is a very costly decision, and it will probably add even more lag to the game and cause it to be choppy, non-top-of-the-line machines. I would love WoW to be even more open world, but unfortunately the engine in which it runs does not allow it easily. Even so, Blizzcon is just around the corner, which means that we are mostly going to find out what happens in a couple of months. Let's not forget Blizzard had trademarked the title Eye of Azshara last year, and what most players branded as a Hearthstone expansion may now be a plausible explanation for the future of World of Warcraft. This is it for this video. How did you guys find the Dark Prophet leak? Believable or just plain bullshit? I'd like to think it's possible. Hell, I've been waiting for this South Seas expansion since Cataclysm now, even if the design still has a lot of flaws. If you liked the video, drop a like in the box below and a comment with feedback. If you're into World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm, subscribe to the channel and help my weekly adventure grow. See you again next weekend. This dungeon features a big number of... dungeons? What? Theoretically, players will be able to travel with their ship from island to Abo,